Hey, so I'm coming in here with a short message to some of my, well, anybody that could use it, but to some of my anxiety people out there, which I'm one of. I struggled with it for quite some time in my life. I started around age 24, 25. I was having full blown panic attacks, going to the emergency room thinking I was dying. So I've been through that whole roller coaster, but it took me a few years to recognize ways to learn. I had to go through some self-help books and stuff to kind of deal with it, but I knew from the get I didn't want to take medicine for it. So I did this without taking medicine. I spoke with my doctor about it. She said if I want it, she'll give it. If I don't, she won't. It was fine. It wasn't impeding too much at that point, but it did get kind of bad for a while. So okay, just to let you guys know, yeah, anxiety is super rampant right now. Everybody has it. So I mean, no shame in it. Just trying to point out some things that I use to help me get out of it. So I jotted them down a little bit. I'm looking a little ratchet. I shouldn't even say that. It doesn't matter. I'm fine. So, okay. So that's my anxieties talking. Uh, okay, so the first things that I would use for myself would be, and this is even coming out of a middle of the night panic attack out of nowhere, jumping out of bed type of thing. First thing I always would go for would be air, deep breath, because it's the fastest. That's what you can grab the fastest. So I would just take deep, mindful breathing, mindful of the air coming in, mindful of it coming out. Deep, not too fast, not too much, because you don't need to hyperventilate. So air would be the first go-to. Second would be, well, first it took me a long time to realize what my anxiety was and to feel it and understand, okay, this is anxiety creeping up, or this is a panic attack that's here. And so, I mean, you got to know your anxiety. So, I mean, once you feel it coming, you start these, and then sometimes you don't even have to go to a next thing. Sometimes air will just work. And then I go for water is my next go-to. Which we should be drinking a lot of water anyways, so stay hydrated. So yeah, I would take some water in, and and going back to the air, I always felt like fresh air is the best, especially in the winter. I would like stick my face out the window and like just breathe it in. So I would recommend fresh air, of course, as much as possible anytime. But I don't know what the air that we're breathing in this day and age. I don't know so much about that either. Okay. And then also, this, I typically would never really resort to this, and this is more of a maintenance thing. I'll get grounded. So we're using 3 of the 4 elements. I'm sure fire could fit in there somewhere. I don't know, like tea, hot tea. No, so I do like hot tea and honey. So, I mean, that kind of calms me too. And sometimes it relaxes my throat and things like that. So yeah, grounding, earth. I mean, I wouldn't go grab a rock or anything, but I'm sure people do. But, if I was really having a moment, I would probably take myself outside barefooted and connect with the earth. It's just, I feel like it's all just a buildup of energy, and it just needs to be released, and you need to absorb it enough to feel it, but let the rest go. I mean, usually we're triggered for things that are external anyways when we process it that way internally. So, but it's all mind over matter in the first place. There's really, I mean, yeah, there's also things to avoid. I found out my triggers, 'cause I'm sure they're different for everybody. Find out your trigger, avoid your triggers. When I quit smoking weed and cigarettes, that helped. I quit drinking coffee. That kind of helped. I'm sure the caffeine doesn't help with anxiety. And I'm sure anybody should know these things and probably have done this. But, I mean, this really worked for me. I've never taken a pill for anxiety in my life, and I highly don't recommend it. Also, another thing that I kind of found out later in my years of dealing with this, well, early on I found out it's not something you're really going to get rid of. It's something that you just need to learn how to control and to take ownership of. Don't let it own you. So, high vibrational music, like high pace, high tempo and stuff, or just just listen to what you're bringing in. That sometimes triggers me, and sometimes it just makes it worse. It can make it better if you get the right vibes of music, but I don't. I usually would prefer just a shut down sound, just so I can avoid accidentally running into something that's gonna just work me back up. So, but just, and also just to be mentally aware and be mindful of what's going on, and that you can get through it. And that, a little mantra that I had, started chanting to myself, not chanting, but I would say this to myself when I was in these moments, is I thought myself into it. Well, I say it to myself like this. I think myself into it. No, I don't know what I'm saying. I thought myself into it and I can think myself out. That's what it is. So if you think, you think yourself into it, and you can think yourself out. See, I wrote it one way and I started saying it a different way, and then my whole brain got all twisted and stuff, and now my anxiety's gonna kick in. I'm gonna freak out. No, I'm kidding. But anyways, I just want people to know that you can do this without the medicine. I feel like the medicine will make other things worse in other areas. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist. I don't know really what I'm talking about, but from experience. So take it or leave it. But this is really what helped me deal with it, and I'm in a much better place, with knowing it, just knowing your anxiety. So get to know it and figure out what it needs to shut it up and get it out of there. Oh, also, Jesus really helps too. Love you guys. Bye.